Welcome back to AI for Founders. I am Ryan Estes, president of Black T-Shirt Gang. Today's episode is electric. My guest is Gaurav Bhattacharya, CEO and co-founder of Jeeva.ai, a company that's rocketed from 0 to 6 million ARR in under 9 months. Whoa. Jeeva is building AI sales agents that don't just help you prospect, they do all the heavy lifting. Finding leads, enriching data, drafting outreach, managing calendars, even prepping you with meeting research. This conversation is for founders, indie hackers, sales pros, and anyone who's ever gotten customers in the door. Go to market. You'll learn how Agentic AI is changing sales, what's broken in email deliverability, and how to replace a half dozen sales tools with one streamlined stack. If sales is oxygen for your startup, this episode is going to feel like pure rocket fuel. Let's get into it. But first, some business. AI for Founders is brought to you by Kitcaster. You know podcasts aren't just content. Their credibility, distribution, and community all rolled into one. At Kitcaster, we book founders and CEOs on top podcasts where their ideal customers are already listening. We've landed over 15,000 interviews for our clients, helping them raise millions, close customers, and build influence. So if you're a founder and looking to go on podcasts and scale your message without spending a dime on ads, head over to kitcaster.com, grab a demo, and tell them Ryan sent you. And we'll get you in the ears of the right people. That's kitcaster.com, Kitcaster by Moburst. What's up, everybody? Let me hit you with some math that will blow your mind. A wealth manager using warmstart.ai grew their assets under management by 8.5 million in 3 months. Their monthly fee, $500. That's a 1,700% return on investment in 3 months. And I get it, another AI tool, another monthly subscription. But here's what makes Warmstart different. It's not trying to find you new people to bug, it's helping you reconnect with people who already know you. As a founder, your biggest asset isn't your product or your website, it's your relationships. But most of us are terrible at nurturing them systematically. Warmstart connects your email, identifies warm contacts, and helps you craft personalized outreach that doesn't sound like a robot wrote it. The best part, you review every message before it goes out. No automation without permission. If you're ready to stop leaving money in your inbox, try warmstart.ai. Use code AIFF for $50 off your first month because the ROI on your existing relationships is probably better than any investment you'll make this year. That's warmstart.ai and use code AIFF. What's up, G? Thanks for coming on the show.
Awesome, Ryan. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, G is my favorite nickname because I'm a child of the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
So we called everybody G back in those days.
Oh, I like that. That's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm so excited to hear about the progress that you've made with your company. And what I'd like you to do, if you don't mind, is just kind of introduce us to Jeeva.ai.
Yeah. Ryan, Sam Altman has this quote, which I love, where he says that at some point, every job becomes a sales job. And I truly believe it. I've been a third-time startup founder now, and I feel like more than coding, more than marketing, 99% of my time is selling. And there's a lot of founders out there, entrepreneurs like you. There's also sales reps. And I feel like even engineers, and even if you're selling coffee at a Starbucks, you're selling every day. So what we are trying to do is we truly believe that we want to make everyone a 10x salesperson. You know, that's the vision that we have. And we're obviously like focused on, selling our product, which actually helps people find leads, enrich data, do personalized outreach across LinkedIn, across email, can respond to your emails, can clean up your calendar, give you summaries of your meetings, all the way to just booking slots automatically for you. The AI can go back and forth. There's tons of functionality, but all we are trying to do is how do we use AI and the powers of AI and agents to help you become a better salesperson? Now, whether you're an actual salesperson or account executive or BDR, SDR, or you're just an indiepreneur, hacker, entrepreneur that is just trying to be a good salesperson, and that's kind of what we do. So I'm taking like my lifelong learnings as a founder and having to learn sales the hard way and trying to say that, can we actually give someone a tool that can make their lives easier if some part of their job is sales?
I love it. And on multiple ways. one, I'm a lot of things, but at heart, I'm a sales dog.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, there's nothing I love more than closing deals. I'll tell you that.
Totally. The most is definitely. I would rather if I could close a deal every morning, I would do that for the rest of my life and give up coffee. Like like the
So
dopamine,
true.
right? It wakes you up. The dopamine is crazy. It's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, it really is. And sometimes I've actually had kind of like uh, some time for reflection because I feel like sometimes I allow my sales or lack of sales a little bit too much credence in my mental state. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
When it's going really good, I'm really good. When it's challenging, I'm kind of like, ah.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Don't like it. So if I'm in a situation where it's challenging and I'm not really feeling it, this is where Jeeva comes in. So I'm looking at the features and the solutions on the website, and it's deep. It's very deep.
Very deep. It's very deep.
So,
Yeah.
but walk me through. Let's say I'm a founder. I'm getting ready for go to market. Everything's in place. All that I got to do now is get leads on my calendar and close deals. How can I use Jeeva to help me?
Yeah, totally, totally. Ryan, actually, I now that as soon as you said that, what I would say is like actually what we've tried to do is make this product very wide instead of going extremely deep. So I'll give an example. It has a lot of coverage of different tools. So the first thing that as a founder you come in to do is you have to find leads, you have to find the right contacts. So what you can do is you can go to Jeeva.ai. Obviously, what we do is we are competing here with ZoomInfo, right? Or something like even a Clay. Now you can in natural language say that, okay, I sell to, let's say, CRE companies. One of my customers is JLL. Go find me all the other real estate companies, commercial real estate. Go find all the managing directors of Northeast region and everyone who basically uses Salesforce in their environment. I'm making a scenario up. The agent go in and will try its best to find really good quality data for you, find the right accounts, lookalike audiences, go build, like find the right managing directors and partners and VPs that you might be looking for. Then gonna use waterfall enrichment to go find their emails, their cell phones. And then knowing your business, you can feed it stuff like, hey, here's what I do. Here's the pain points I solve for. Here's what I'm trying to do with my startup. Here's the value proposition. Here's some proof points that I have or no proof points yet. I'm trying to create something from the ground up. It's going to then create hyper-personalized messaging and not like the fake messaging like, I love that. I love what kind of restaurant you go to or something like that. But it's actually going to go do deep research on a persona and a profile and then write really good messaging, like copy that converts. We use something called, psychology of influence in our copy. The AI would also use something called predictability rational. These are like some of the sales methodologies that we use. The copy would be simple, concise, and will be personalized to the person we're reaching out to and kind of like a piece to their role, what they do, what's happening in the industry to try and get them to respond across email and LinkedIn. So imagine like what we are trying to do is like, it doesn't go as deep as like, for example, it does not have like call routing functionality that sales software outreach would have, right? It would not have like the NACIS codes that ZoomInfo has, but it just does enough in a very simple way that can help you find leads, enrich data with good emails and cell phones, do deep research on these prospects, then do personalized outreach across LinkedIn and email. And we're adding WhatsApp and texting and even AI voice drops in the future. So it can cover all of those aspects for up until the point someone responds. Now, when someone responds, Ryan, it actually plugs into your email. So it would be plugged into your Outlook or Google. It can actually detect a response. If it's a positive response, it's going to draft on your behalf and basically be like, hey, Ryan, thanks for your interest. By the way, it has access to your calendar. So it'll be like, Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time is wide open for me. Can I actually send you an invite at that time? Or actually go back and forth with the prospect, actually book something on your behalf. So you just, there's work involved, but 95% of the work should be done by AI. So you hopefully, in an ideal world, wake up to meetings or wake up to like good conversations as a business owner, as a founder.
Incredible. And agentic solutions have been promised to basically
Do everything.
remove friction, right?
Sorry.
And there's certain processes that I know I've got that could use agentic support, but I haven't because I'm like, boy, there's a lot of nuance. And this is one area. So I'll walk you through kind of my use case. Let's say I go to PitchBook, I find the data I'm looking for, I bring it down. I take that into Hunter just to double check all the emails, make sure they're clean, Then I'll take that list, I bring it to Instantly. Instantly is going to push out all the emails And
Yeah.
then I'm going to get an email. Somebody responds. Now I
Yeah.
take them, I bring them into HubSpot.
Oh yeah.
I
Right.
send a HubSpot link for my calendar. So my calendar books to HubSpot. Now it's on my Google Calendar. Then I have a call. That
Yeah.
whole setup. Now, are
Yeah.
you telling me that I can basically
Can do it.
replace what I'm doing right now with Jeeva?
100%. That's exactly right. The only thing that we would not do is we don't have a CRM system. So we're not trying to build HubSpot, but it can go back and forth with HubSpot, sync automatically. But it already has access to your calendar. So it can automatically take the times you're free and propose those times always, right? So in your sequence, instead of a random time, it'll be like, John, by the way, like just reply yes if you want me to send you a quick report, or here's 3 times that I'm open. So it can actually go back and forth with the prospect from the beginning when you're doing. So it can actually replace something like a Clay or PitchBook for you to get the data. No need for Hunter. We actually partner with Hunter, so I don't want to talk shit about them. Actually, like we do waterfall enrichment. So we use Hunter, Prospeo, People Data Labs, Datagma, like all these guys, Contact Out. We do something where it would go and find Ryan's email on Hunter, doesn't find it, go to Apollo, doesn't find it, go to Lucia, doesn't find it, go to Crunchbase. So that's kind of what we're doing on emails and cell phones. So it'll do that. Then it's going to send the sequences out on your behalf and also can go back and forth and hopefully book meetings where you actually get a calendar invite. So that's kind of what you get to. That's the step. That's the workflow. So it replaces, it obviously doesn't go as deep as, like, for example, PitchBook would go, but we have the same data. It won't go as deep as Hunter, but we have the same emails, right? It may not have like the ability to warm up emails like Instantly does, for example, but we can send out. So we do enough to take and stitch it together, basically make it super easy for founders.
Incredible. So the email deliverability is always crucial.
Yeah.
So is this coming off of like your primary domain? Where's the emails coming from?
It does. Okay, so I'm gonna give away the secret sauce here. And the funny part is, Ryan, like when I started this company, I was like, man, I'm gonna be an AI expert. I'm gonna wake up and just think about AI every day. And I'm literally an email deliverability expert. That's all I do. I wake up and I read like the rules and stuff. So what ends up happening is if you use like different domains now, so domains have to be warmed up for a long time now. It needs at least a year for warm up of domains. There was a lot of stuff that Instantly introduced, which was amazing, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, which was like warming up of different emails. You can buy 50 or 100 different inboxes. You can warm it up. You can rotate them. None of that works anymore. And I can tell you just why. Because what ends up happening, Ryan, is now Microsoft and Google have this check, which basically looks for API tags on emails, which means that if you're using any automation, whether it's HubSpot or Instantly or Outlook or not Outlook, but like anything that is automated, Salesloft, Outreach, there's going to be an API tag, and Google and Microsoft will basically tag it as saying it's machine generated. Doesn't mean if it's AI or not, it's machine generated. More likely it's spam. They're going to reduce deliverability by 90%. So what ends up happening is if you use any automation, you're going to end up, 90% of the times the emails are not going to go through, no matter what you use. But now, actually, if I want you to run this experiment, right? Take 100 emails even from your primary domain, best domain, whatever you have, and send it through Instantly or anything, and take 100 emails, copy paste it, send it manually, and you'll see that you'll get like 25% positive response rate. Everything will work if you manually send the emails. It's because of the API tag. So what we do is and no one else does this yet, but we just send it to your inbox. We'll send it as a draft, and we would create the draft. We won't actually send it out. So all you got to do is you just wake up in the morning and hit send on your drafts, and it's basically mimics manual sending on email. So it's still personalized. We do all the work. We'll follow up on your behalf, but we'll just have this one unique aspect where you have to do 5 minutes of manual work, but improves the deliverability by 90%. It actually helps your domain reputation because you're manually sending all that stuff. That's a new way of inbox cracking these days, which basically means take 2-3 team members. You don't need multiple emails. You don't need multiple domains. Just manually send them technically. And that way your deliverability would be great. Your domain's going to be protected because you're manually sending, you're not using automation technically. So that's what we recommend to our customers. Again, I know this is manual. Some people are like, I don't want to like wake up and hit send, but it's like 5-10 minutes. It takes 5 minutes for me to do 100, 200 every day. It also increases the limits because now you're not using APIs anymore. So Google has a limit of 5,000 emails a day. Outlook allows you to do 6,000 emails a day. You can actually do many more if you can do 200, 300, 500 a day instead of only doing 50 per inbox, basically. So that's like some of the new email deliverability hacks that I know about, or at least we kind of prescribe to our customers.
Amazing. And I have consider myself an email deliverability expert as well.
Yeah.
Just out of dire need,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah. Man, I know you have a newsletter, right? You have to be like you're like you're
100%.
probably like yeah, absolutely.
Well, and I can speak to that exactly because we'll have issues sometimes with like HubSpot, like meeting notifications going to spam. It's like
Yeah.
it's not even coming initiated from our domain at all. It's coming from HubSpot, but
Wow.
HubSpot's getting blacklisted.
Yeah.
So it's very, very frustrating. Now, a part of that though, people are afraid that if it's coming out of their primary domain, there's a chance that they might get blacklisted. But you're saying that like because you're manually throwing it out there,
Right.
that you're not going to, or you have a lower chance. Now, none of this stuff is like 100% and it changes all the time because I can remember clearly, I think it was like about a year and a half ago when it was like Outlook, Gmail, and Apple, all of them like really clamped down on these API calls.
That's
So,
exactly right. That's exactly right. It's all about APIs. There's only three things that I think rule of thumb. If you have an old enough domain, which is great, it doesn't matter how reputable it is. It only matters if its age is important. If you have like an old enough, for example, email, then that's like one more thing that is important. If you have a brand new email, I recommend not like starting it instantly and now just blasting 500 people. The only other thing that truly matters is if you have less bounce rates. And if you basically send a lot of emails to people that are bouncing, then that can get you flagged. Besides that, there's no rule. There's no rule of numbers. If you're manually sending it the way that I recommend, that I told you, there's 99.99999%. There's no way that this would get blocked or blacklisted or anything. That's what we do with hundreds of people, thousands of people. That's what we recommend. And actually much easier because these managing of these different mailboxes is like super painful, at least.
dude, it's awful.
Awful.
It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, you have to log into them. They keep like getting disconnected, timed out. I've done this like, right before this company, I was doing it from another startup and man, it was super painful. And I was very frustrated all the time.
Very cool. Okay. So I put in to Jeeva, I add my ICP. It says, okay, we found 100 people right here.
Yeah.
It's going to automatically create emails,
Yeah.
which populates to drafts on my Google Workspace email account.
That's
Then I
exactly-
go in there, I go send. If they reply back and they're like, hey, that sounds good, then
Yeah.
does Jeeva automatically say, awesome, let's hop on a call. Here's some good times.
That's exactly right. It's going to say that. Now it can go back and forth with customers. It has access to your calendar. So it'll basically be like, hey, I'm open from, tomorrow, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Well, on Friday, I'm open at 12 p.m. If these work, let me know. If not, here's my booking link or something like that. So you can change up the messaging, but it's going to automatically detect. It can even detect the time zone the other person's at, so we can recommend in Central or Pacific or IST or whatever time zone they're in, just so that it can make scheduling much faster, better.
Incredible. Yeah. So cool. Then from that point, I pick up the conversation on the calendar and I'm moving. Is there anything further that Jeeva goes after that?
No, so we have a few things. Basically, we have a note taker after that. And what the note taker does, there's a couple of things we do with the note taker, which is very innovative. So in the old days, or in the other note takers, what they usually have is they would just give you a summary, right? If they follow you around, if you go on a call with a customer, what we do is because we have access to your email as well, we would actually draft an email ready to go. So let's say if I do a meeting with you and Jeeva.ai note taker will follow you, they can push notes to HubSpot or Salesforce on what we talked about. We can basically take the band and put it in the right fields and stuff like that. We already have the contact data, so we can enrich it for you. We can do a really good job there. But what we also do, Ryan, is like on your email, you wake up and a draft will be ready right after the meeting. We'll be like, hey, G, it was great talking to you. Here's what we discussed. Here's how you can partner with me on my newsletter. Here's how much it costs. Here's action items for me. Here's action items for you. So you can actually do a follow-up email right after that. So we do everything from sorting your inbox, cleaning it up, drafting emails on your behalf, taking notes on your meetings, and then following up on meetings for you, pushing it to CRM notes, and then also like drafting emails. That's all we do as part of like moving deals through the funnel. Like a long time we've been discussing about building like revenue intelligence type functionalities, helping you close deals faster. We're not there yet. That's not our core focus, but that's what we do throughout the funnels, like taking notes, following up for you, drafting emails, like just helping you. Speed to lead is everything. How do we get you that lead that you work so hard to nurture, how can we help you close that faster through the sales cycle? And those are some of the things we do. All of them are around calendar and email right now.
Incredible. That's a heck of a stack. Talk to me about the AI inbox. It says triage to reply faster.
Yeah. So what we do, Ryan, is basically like, imagine you wake up in the morning. We have a few labels on your inbox because we can read your emails. We can say that, okay, this goes to marketing. This should go to, let's say, a meeting update needed. This goes to FYI. This needs a comment. This is action needed. Like, these are the people you need to respond to. Looks urgent, marked to you. It's not FYI. So that's number one. So we will just sort your inbox, make it easy. Now, like, this is our most loved feature. Like, we built this recently. We rolled it out to all our users free of cost, basically, and they loved it. So we productized it. The second thing it does, Ryan, after that is all the action needed. We already know your tonality. We know your industry. We know your voice. We know how you talk, right? Because we were reading your email, so we understand. We have like a persona for you. So in your voice and in your tonality, it's going to draft the response based on what ideally we feel you would respond with. And it would basically, because it has access to your ICP or leads, stuff like that, from what you fed us all along, or at least like when you created your first campaigns, and it can just draft the response ready to go. All you're doing is just editing it, sending it, editing it, sending it. So you're kind of, never missing out on an email, never missing out on a deal, and saving almost, like, I think we did this study. It's like 7.6 hours per week, which is almost one workday.
Unbelievable.
That you're saving just by having AI do your emails for you. So that's like the big benefit of this. And we do something very similar with AI calendar too. And every morning you wake up, Ryan, I'll tell you, like, the AI will tell you what are your meetings for the day. Do deep research on everyone and say that, hey, this person basically is a big Dodgers fan, by the way. And here's what's going on in the company. You're talking to Airbnb. Brian Chesky just did a 10K report, and here's what Airbnb did. Here's what he talked about. Here's how Airbnb is going to use AI in sales, blah, blah, blah. Whatever's important to you about the company, give you notes every morning about every company, basically. So you know, like, what's going on and what you have to do. So there's like small things that we do here and there, but it's all about like, how do we help you get to your inbox faster? How do we draft responses for you so they're ready to go, so you can basically never miss a meeting, never miss a lead? How do we help you get to your day faster with meetings and better prepared, so you know the context, you can just crush it every meeting you're in? That's all sales, right? In a way, like, you just go in prepared. If I go in a meeting with, let's say, John, and I already know what John likes and what John talks about and what John's CEO is saying, then I can build rapport faster, build trust faster. So, and people buy from people they trust. So there's a lot of nuances we do around inbox and calendar that we feel is very, very powerful, very useful, very simple AI features too. Like, there's no like secret sauce. If a lot of my investors always say, like, anyone can copy this. I totally get it, but it's kind of like how it works together. It's like simple workflows, how they work together. People love these features that we have. And I think those are some of our killer features with the AI inbox and calendar.
It's awesome. I love it. The data enrichment, one thing is going to validate you have the right contact information. It's going to go outside and find out they're big Dodgers fans and get, Ohtani's like stack for the week. But enriching the data that's most important to me, which becomes the calendar, the note taker from calls, my CRM data in my inbox. So if you're in all those things, then it can say, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's like, hey, you spoke to them 3 months ago, you spoke to 6 months ago, here's what might be pressing. And so it kind of creates all that internal context.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Here's the action items, right? You have 5 calls with these guys already, and here's last what you mentioned, and here's what your actions were, by the way. Here's what's happening in the environment that's different, right? Pepsi's getting, coming out with like buyback program for their shares, so budgets might be tighter now, just so you know, or something like that. Maybe an M&A happening. All of this, right? Like, is what's happening internally and externally, and what's some action items that you said you were going to follow up on and you might not have, just reminding you. So there's a lot of things that come from your data, come from HubSpot, come from calls and emails that you're on, that if we can kind of combine those two, then we can create like a shared memory and help you be better at closing, for sure. The other thing that we have, you talked about enrichment, Ryan, but we have a really cool feature we call agent search, where you can actually search for anything. And behind the scenes, it's a crawling mechanism. It's kind of like how OpenAI has ChatGPT's deep research. You might have used deep research. I love that feature. So we built a mini version of it. But what we can do is we can actually go through LinkedIn URLs as well and can find information. So I'll give you an example. Like we have a customer where they have a sales team and they sell like transportation company, and they want to find how many trucks are on their fleet, how many franchisees do they have, what year was this company founded, what are some construction projects that are live. I'm literally making this up. Or where did Ryan go to school, right? Like all of this stuff, like whatever is important, you just ask the agent and we're going to go crawl the internet, try to find that answer for you, return it to you in a simple way. Now you can have like multiple enriched data. So you have, not only do you have leads and emails and cell phones, but you have like when was this company founded? What boards does the founder sit on? Anything that you want to know. How many trucks do they have on fleet? How many franchisees do they have? How much revenue do they make per franchisee? When was the last press release? Like any nuanced information that can actually help you do better and close this deal better, help qualify this lead faster. Now you can do that with just like a simple search interface, which is pretty phenomenal.
Okay, everyone loves to talk about vision, the pitch, the funding round, but you know what gets zero love? The actual product build. That magical, terrifying phase where nothing works, the docs are out of date, and you've asked your dev team, how's it going, for the 47th time today on Slack. That's where Code Story comes in. It's a podcast for startup founders who know that building the thing is the thing. Hosted by Noah Labhart, Code Story goes deep with tech leaders who've been through it, shipping real products, surviving messy launches, and figuring out what actually works and when you're on the edge of chaos. If you're building now or ever plan to, you'll want these stories in your earballs. Search Code Story wherever you get your podcasts or visit codestory.co, because founders talk vision, but builders tell code stories. This episode is brought to you by MoBurst, the AI-first growth engine trusted by iconic startups like Calm, Robinhood, Reddit, Uber, and Google. MoBurst is a digital full-service mobile-first marketing agency that helps companies to scale and become category leaders. Whether you're finding product market fit or ready to accelerate growth, MoBurst delivers creative, data-driven solutions that help with scale and efficiency and impact. At MoBurst, we're not just guessing what works, we're predicting it. As an AI-first agency, MoBurst uses cutting-edge tools to analyze user behavior, adapt creative in real time, and uncover hidden growth opportunities. The result, marketing that's faster, smarter, and built to convert. From early-stage startups to global brands, we've helped hundreds of companies overcome complex challenges, unlock new audiences, and optimize every metric that matters. At MoBurst, we believe that creative thinking, advanced technology, and data are the core drivers of success at scale. If you're serious about scaling your business with precision and purpose, it's time to talk to MoBurst. Visit moburst.com and let's build something category-defining together. Incredible. And it also looks like you have additional LinkedIn features that does outbound. Tell me about those.
Yeah, it's multi-channel outreach. So Ryan, we can do everything from, let's say, send a first personalized LinkedIn message, right? Or send a connection request, personalized connection request, pause for a few days, then open up with a first personalized email to the prospect, right? Then it can pause, then it can, if it gets accepted, then if it's not, then it's going to nudge the user. If it's accepted, and it's going to go to the prospect, then write a first message, pause for a few days, send a second personalized LinkedIn message. It can do it in mail as well. Then it can do like email sequences. Like we're also working on features like liking, commenting, sharing on LinkedIn, just like making it multi-touch, multi-campaign. Right now it's in-mails and LinkedIn messages and connection requests, and then emails. Like those are the two channels that we have for outreach, but we're looking to add commenting, liking posts, doing sharing. We're also looking to add like WhatsApp messaging, AI voice drops, just like make it a multi-channel outreach basically. Because what we've seen is like no one channel works, but multi-channel works very well together. If you can do everything or some of the other things, and the likelihood to respond just so much higher.
Yeah, it's so cool. And I want to get the features are so dense. Now tell me about the Chrome extension.
Yeah. Okay. So Chrome extension doesn't actually do much. It's very simple. We don't even do much with it right now. But what we launched it for, Ryan, was one is like a lot of folks complain about manually hitting the send button, right? So because we have to create drafts and then they have to go hit send. So we created a Chrome extension that can look at any Jeeva drafts that are out in your inbox, automatically send them if it's on. The other thing it does is like if you're on LinkedIn, it can just help you find the email in the cell phone for that person. So we haven't actually gone super deep with the Chrome extension. We just wanted to build something to see if there's appetite. We didn't get crazy hit. We had aspirations that, oh yeah, people would love it, they'll use it everywhere. But we saw that people actually don't use it everywhere. So we kind of stopped building that. We're still there. We're not doing much with it, at least now, but maybe in the future, we'll pick it up and try to add more functionality there.
Fantastic. Now, you have an amazing ascent here. So from what I saw, you went 0 to 3 million ARR in 6 months. Is that correct?
Yeah, 6 million now. Yeah, exactly. Like less than 9 months, growing super fast. And it's been like a journey, not saying all sunshines and rainbows, but definitely like, my last startup, we grinded for 5 years to get to 1 million. And it was very hard. And I feel like there's natural product market fit here. Also because our market is like all salespeople, right? Salespeople love buying stuff. That's one. I think I make it easy. You know this, right, Ryan? Whatever can give you the edge to close a deal or close your quarter, make your number. I think people love that. They just pay their own money. We have tons of users who just like pay from their own pocket. Just put a credit card, $20, $50. You have a PLG plan that does very well. Obviously, we have customers that are paying us $50, $100, $200,000, but that's like a big focus is PLG for us. The second thing I would say is like just incredible pull in the market. I feel like there's like companies like Cursor and Windsurf and Lovable and Replit that have done this exact same thing we're doing, but for developers and software programmers. And we feel there's a market out there to do this for salespeople and sellers, and everyone's in a sales job. So I feel like this has a natural tendency for expansion pretty quickly as well.
100%. Did you use Jeeva to grow Jeeva from day one?
And 100%. Yeah, 100% of our pipeline is Jeeva.ai sourced. This is like a big push for us. That's why I was talking about the newsletter that you have, because it's a huge push for us to like go branch out now, create pipeline outside of Jeeva.ai, like go do marketing, spend some money there. But $0 spent on marketing so far.
Incredible. So tell me about your serial entrepreneur. When you had the idea and kind of how you financed in the beginning, and how long did it take to get to actual product launch?
Yeah. I mean, for this one, Ryan, I have like a really interesting story. I actually did, this company was called Involve AI before. So we pivoted. We did a massive pivot. We didn't do a new company. And with the company, I had raised a Series A funding. Like I had a board, I had investors on, and we just couldn't find product market fit. Like we were really struggling. We had a very different idea, different product, small team. Actually, at one point we were 50-ish people, and then unfortunately I had to lay off 90% of the folks. We were left with like a 6-person team, and nothing was working. So late last year, I actually went back to the board and I said, guys, you know me. We've tried everything, and we're just hitting a brick wall now, and things are not working. We're gonna respectfully, whatever money we have, we had very little runway left. We're gonna give you your money back, and just go do something else. And my board asked me like, what's your next idea? Are you going to go find a job somewhere? Like, and I was like, probably not. I'd probably start another thing. They were like, what are you going to do next? And I said, maybe I'll go towards sales AI, because we had built this internally, right? And we were using bits and pieces of AI to do better prospecting, better lead gen, better enrichment, better outreach. So I said, maybe there's an opportunity out here. And we called this product internally, we called it R2D2, because we were just Star Wars nerds. We called it R2D2. And we were like, let's call R2D2 to do prospecting for us and book meetings for us. So I was like, maybe we'll go to market with this. And the board was like, we love you, and we love your team. You should just keep going. We'll back you. We'll give you some more money to just extend your runway and keep going. That's what we did. So we called it R2D2. We launched in January of this year, basically, or February, or like late December last year. Instantly, number one, like in 10 days, I got a cease and desist from Disney. Like within 10 days, they were like, shut it down. You
cannot do that.
You cannot call yourselves R2D2 or pay us $10 million to get. I was like, screw this. I don't have $10 million to pay Disney, or like screw with Disney. Yeah, so we changed the name of the company, and yeah, the rest is history, So long story short, Ryan, like we had already built this, and 90% of the stuff was already there. We just had to package it and make it better. So this is a very different product idea, because we already had built this over the last 6 months, year, just internally, and we just took kind of like the Slack story. I don't know if you heard the Slack story, but Slack was actually a gaming company, and they were using Slack to communicate. The developers had built it to just talk to each other. And when the company died, Stuart Butterfield, the CEO, was like, maybe I'll just use the thing that we've built internally and see if there's any market out there for it. And that's exactly what we did. And they found a market, obviously a massive market, and I think we found a market too.
Yeah, it's such a classic tale, because I think as founders, we get really excited by the idea process, and you see all the flashing lights, and you're like, wow, this would be so cool. And you take it to market, and people are like, it's all right. but everything it took to get it to market, oftentimes that's where the real jewels are. You know,
Totally.
what did you do different to ship the product? Be like, well, there's the thing that people don't have that you had to make.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Fascinating. So the company then kicks off January. It's called R2D2.
And
Amazing. And now you've got a $6 million run rate this fast. This is incredible. Now, talk to me a little bit about the business model, because you have kind of classic pricing, but it's based on credits. So exactly what is a credit? Is a credit an action? Is a credit a contact lead?
That's exactly right. So Ryan, what we do is, number one, we have like this individual pricing. And I want to talk about that. That's like our favorite plan. It's $0 a month. You can use it for free forever with a few credits. Then it's $20, $50, $100. The more you use, the more you pay us. And this is for prosumers, individual users, and entrepreneurs, indie entrepreneurs, growth hackers. Then obviously we have like a traditional package with a team where it's like anywhere from $6,000 a year, $12,000, $24,000, $36,000, $60K. So we have these plans that go up. The way that we do it is for prosumers, it's actions. So it's basically, it's very simple. You don't want to make it complicated. It's like the more you use, the more you pay. For enterprise, actually, we have a really innovative pricing. We call this outcome-based pricing, where we do a couple of things. One is we have this model where either you can just do it on leads and like the not just the actions, but only when you get a qualified result in. So let's say you find a list of 500 people, only when you get only the 20 that you select, where you go do agent search, you find the right emails, the right cell phones, and you verify it, that's like when we will actually deduct the credit for you. So it's very outcome-based pricing that we are working towards. We also have some customers where we're running like a percentage of revenue. So we're saying that, okay, we will not charge you until you get revenue, and you pay us 3% of all deals that you close. So there's different things we're doing, but we're very focused on trying to go towards this outcome-based pricing model, which is new, so that we can be innovative, and it's working really well for us. So that's kind of how the pricing is built. It's like there's a team enterprise section, but which is not on the website, but then there's like an individual package that very focused on PLG and trying to get, and we get a lot of our leads through it. Like every morning I wake up, we get about 150, 250 signups on the website organically, and then out of that, I think like out of that 10 would raise their hand and say that, hey, we could actually be a sales prospect for you, because we love the product and we want to use it as a team, basically. So that's kind of like a big part of our lead gen comes from that.
Amazing. Yeah, I had a great conversation with Mark last week. I just published the episode today. He's from new.io, and he was really differentiating like outcome pricing versus usage pricing versus seats. And basically what he's doing is pricing for all the big AI companies. I mean, his logos are insane. It's like Anthropic and OpenAI and all these like huge companies.
That sounds awesome.
Totally. Great guy, really cool product, and kind of like a whole new category of like pricing, because like you said, like outcome pricing is becoming very popular because you get what you pay for. But determining what the outcome is can be kind of the hang up. So when if it says 200 credits per month, basically that's 200 qualified enriched datas. And then the automation features that is coming through LinkedIn and inbox is just kind of like, that's however else you're going to use it. It doesn't have anything to do with the credits.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so what we have is basically for outreach sequences, either per positive response, or if it runs through the entire sequence, basically, and you get no response. That's the two things we charge credits for. So let's say if you enroll 100 people and 50 of them respond saying not interested, we won't charge credits for you. If it bounces, no credits get deducted. Only if you get 10 positive responses means 10 credits. And if people run through the entire sequence, you don't get anything. That's also when we charge credit, because we pay a lot for consumption. So everywhere the pricing is more towards getting some qualified leads, getting some qualified results, and only then we'll charge money for you. I mean, the ideal scenario would be if someone closes a deal, we take a percentage off it, but there's a lot of complexity there because we have to like track through the sales cycle. We also depend on the seller's ability to sell and close a deal and control, unfortunately. That's also like on us, basically, or at least it's on them. But that would be the ideal scenario. Like if I was a customer, that's what I would want to pay for. I know as a business owner, like we can't exactly do that, but we're trying to the closest to be as close to results as possible that we can be while running a solid company and a profitable business model.
I'm sure you've thought about it though. How would you show attribution? Is there like a blockchain application here or something?
I don't know. I mean, attribution is the hardest one. Even if it's like crowdsourced, like if the reps can, manually tag it and make it a trust-based algorithm, I think that would be one. But it's very tricky. Attribution is the hardest challenge because let's say even if we help Jeeva help close a deal, what is it to say that this lead wasn't already existing? There's warm connections there. It's really hard to like both ways, right? It could be. I think it's very hard to attribute it. But imagine if I was coming to you and I said that we will only charge 5% of all deals that you close, and that's how Jeeva works. I mean, it's a no-brainer business model, right? If you're able to do it, then that would be such an easy like sell. Like, why wouldn't someone buy this? So I think a lot about this, but also I think it's baby steps towards that ultimate goal.
Yeah, I guess one way you could do it is spin up like a kind of a sister agency that's actually charging for the service, and then you could go to a company and say, "Hey, we're a fractional CMO, and what we want to get paid on is the delta of growth." So then you're using the software, but ultimately billing as a service. Yeah. Are there a lot of agencies that are doing that? Kind of sales agencies that are using it as kind of their sales tools?
Not right now. We actually don't have a massive pull in agencies as of now. I don't know why that is. Like maybe we haven't spent a lot of time, effort in marketing. They already have their tools that agencies use. These couple of really popular tools like Instantly and N8N and Clay, maybe they're already embedded. We haven't done any marketing. What we're trying to do is like make the product so simple that reps can use it. Like that's our entire pitch. It's basically you. And I mean, I love agency. We partner with them all the time, but we're basically saying maybe you don't need an agency to do it. Maybe you can just run it on your own, right? That's kind of our pitch, our value proposition. Maybe that's why, but we'd love to build a flywheel because we've seen all these tools that are so successful, right? Like Clay is a great example. N8N is a great example. Instantly is a great example. And I think 90% plus their growth comes from agencies and consumption.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks that listen to the podcast that are always looking for ideas. Either they're trying to get their first idea out or they're in between ideas, but this is $1 million idea right here. An agency that's using Jeeva to go out and sell, because like, if you're a closer, like if you're out there and you're selling cars or you're out there and you're selling financial products and like, you know how to do that, you can do that to anything.
That's exactly.
Go out there and just close deals for people. And typically in the past, it's creating, it's creating pipe that's the most challenging. But if you have something that can automate it and really like get the right people on the calls, now your job is just to close the deals. And that's
I totally agree. I think that's phenomenal. I feel like there's a world out there. I was even thinking that we'll create like a SDR, BDR, AE marketplace that are just like super smart. They know how to use AI. They're good closers. They're good lead, and they'll be trained on Jeeva for free. I was thinking, I mean, if I had an infinite amount of money, that's like I would totally do this. And then what I'll do is like these guys will go to whatever companies. They'll go work for OpenAI one day. They'll go work for startups and different companies, and they would take Jeeva with them because they're already trained in Jeeva.ai and they know how to use it. So that was like an idea that I had. Create like a talent marketplace that we could use as well, and even like, and also for companies, they would love to hire SDRs and BDRs or account execs who are trained in AI, right? Like they know what to do, they know how to search, they know how to build lists, they know how to prospect, they know how to hunt, they know how to close, and just be very effective using AI. Or why wouldn't people want to hire them? So I think that was like, if we were Microsoft or had Microsoft level funding or money, like I would definitely spend millions of dollars in spinning up a program like this.
Yeah. So is this why you're doing podcasts? Because this is pretty product-led sales.
Yeah.
And I can tell. I know that you want to do demos and you want to.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a huge part of like creating the founder brand. It's new for us. Like we're very product focused. So now getting the word out there. I think one of the things that kind of like always disappoints us is like, I think we're doing really well, but we have competitors who have raised a lot more money than us. They have billboards, they have ads and everything. And we're very lean. So trying our best to like be very capital efficient. So being on podcasts and thanks for the opportunity, but it's awesome, right? Because it gives us a forum. Hopefully your listeners will learn something, maybe get inspired by my story, failing and then finally succeeding. But at the same time, we get if people are interested in Jeeva.ai, they can go there, check it out, and maybe we'll get some more leads. Absolutely.
It's so cool. Yeah, the 0 to 6 million ARR since January is so phenomenal. Tell me how that feels. Did you buy anything cool? Did you buy like a gold chain or something awesome?
No, dude, that would be awesome. Now that you've thought about it, now you've planted the idea, I definitely want a gold chain. Maybe at 10 million, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but it
Cuban
sounds,
links with some diamond studs.
oh, yeah, dude, that sounds amazing. Get gold tooth. I'm actually missing a tooth here. I haven't had time to get maybe I'll get like a molar, like a gold molar. Oh,
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
that sounds awesome. Yeah, no, Ryan, I haven't done any of that. I'm very, I'm thinking like what cool thing have I done? I actually bought a new MacBook, which I'm really excited about. I bought one of those, the new the processor ones, right? The M3 machines. They're very sick from Apple. So I've been very excited about that because I'm still a software programmer at heart. So I'm always coding and and then Zoom is like, I'm sure you've seen this, right? Zoom slows everything down these days, right? You need a good computer. Otherwise, if you're running
Totally.
Teams, yeah. So I think that would be like a good purchase from me. Hey, what else have I bought? Nothing I can think of.
That's a good one though. I actually just bought a new Mac Mini.
Nice.
And I'm
Nice.
shocked how fast it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Amazing. I want to talk a little bit about the future, not only of Jiva, but where you see kind of
Yeah.
the puck going with AI. You said once, either you're as close to AI as possible or you're as far away. There is no middle path.
That's exactly right. That's crazy. You read that, but actually, it's not my code. It's Sam Altman's brother, Jack Altman, who's an investor in us. He has a really nice fund called Alt Capital, by the way, and he's awesome. He was a CEO of a company called Lattice that I think $5 billion now, and he's doing investing now. But he has this code which I love, which is like in today's age, or at least in the next decade or so, to be hyper successful, mega successful, not like decent average success, like mega successful, you either have to like be as close to AI as possible or as far away from it as possible. Like either you're like, a farmer or an HVAC and electrician, I don't know what that is, or plumber, or you're like a hardcore AI technician, practitioner, or whatever, right? I think those are the only two paths, because either it's going to be everywhere, like either you choose a path and it's okay, live with it, basically, right? You can half-ass it. And Ryan, the way that why I say this is because I see a lot of resistance from young folks. I don't know if you're seeing this, but I have a lot of developers I work with, and I love them, but they're so stuck up about not using AI because you're just like, oh, it's not good enough. Yeah, but it's literally getting better every single hour, and it's going to be much better than you are, or at least at 90% of tasks. That besides like the creative thinking, right, being like a product expert, having taste, AI is not going to have that because you have to prompt it. But at least all of the other parts, like writing functions, writing code, it's going to do that for you. Same thing with, I think, sales. Everyone's like, these emails suck that come out of these AI systems. I hate getting these emails. Oh, yeah, sure. But now, right, it's going to get much better. It's going to do everything. It's going to get better every day. And it's kind of like, it's okay. Just adopt it and be, get better at it and just practice it. I think that's going to be a pretty big edge in the market. Even Sam Altman has a quote where he was saying that, Anthropic CEO says that too, is basically, one of the number one things you can learn is like be well versed with these AI tools, like understand how they work and try as many tools as possible from all these different large companies, small companies, get good at it. And some will work, some won't work for you, but you'll kind of understand these systems and how they're built. And I think it's going to be a very meaningful skill to have. Like I have a marketer, I used to have like a massive marketing team and they were not producing anything. So I just now have like a small team, like a couple of people. And they use AI for everything, Ryan, like from like creating videos to audio to LinkedIn to email, like whatever it is, like, right? And you know this, right? Like there's 100 tools out there and I just need 2 people and that's all you need these days, right? So I feel like that's a skill set in itself, right? If you're an early adopter of AI and you use it every day, I think your likelihood to get a job, land a job, keep a job, get promoted increases significantly.
Yeah, I love that quote. And I find that like personally, I need both.
Yeah.
So I am as close to AI as I possibly can get. And I've seen massive leaps like you're talking about. But also as a result, like when I'm away from my desk, boy, I gotta
Right.
be away.
Oh, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like I need to be in the woods. I don't want to look at a
yeah.
screen all weekend. Like I used to be able to kind of tinker around on the weekends and do this or that, but I feel like the pace is coming. It's such a there's like a Monday ramp where like I have to like, oh yeah, okay, I have to ramp back up to the pace I'm used to. Now by Tuesday afternoon, now I'm absolutely flying, and it's great. But I find downtime to be incredibly important. How about you? How do you find time away from the screen? What do you like to do?
Same. I have a lot of dogs. So what I do, Ryan, is I take them. I have a cabin up in Big Bear. Just love
Nice.
there. Just being in the woods. Just downtime and being away from the screens. And even if I work there, I feel so good being in nature, just looking at trees and listening to birds chirp. I think that's like the best. And my dogs can run around, roam free there. So I think that's like a big benefit and getaway. I'm in I don't know where you are, Ryan, but I'm in California, so I'm very lucky. I'm like 2 hours from the oh, not even 2 hours, few minutes from the beach, 2 hours from the mountain. So
Right.
really lucky to be here. It's like the California tax that we pay is worth it in a
It's
way.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just south of Denver in the
Oh,
foothills.
nice. Oh, that's
So
awesome. Denver
yeah.
City. I'm a big Nuggets fan.
Oh man, you gotta love the Nuggets.
Oh yeah.
You're a big basketball guy, right?
I do. All the sports, yeah, all sports. Yeah, I just love watching sports, going to live games. Actually, that's a great getaway for me. Is like going to live sports, live events, like just with friends or family is like super fun. I love doing that. I've been doing that since I was a child. I was a big cricket fan growing up in India, but yeah, when I came to the US, I started just following everything, baseball, basketball, all the sports here.
Yeah. Well, and we're just leaving that like terrible time between
Yeah.
end of NBA season and the beginning of NFL season.
Yeah.
College football's back. It's like, okay, now baseball starts getting interesting again coming into September.
Oh, yeah, it's a good time. It's like the season's gonna start soon too. NBA start soon enough. Yeah, there's like a big lull in the middle, right, where you don't know when everything's ended and you
Yeah.
don't know what to do. It's like,
And it's sad. It's like, all right, golf, I guess. What are we
oh,
doing?
yeah,
What are we doing? Um, Amazing. So, looking to the future, let's talk about near future, far future. Where do you see kind of AI developing quickly? Well, if we look at the last 2 years, what really the strong innovation in AI was chat. You know, that a simple chat interface is how people want to use it. Do you see that continuing?
yeah. I think chat's gonna become like at least a status quo. Like you need it, otherwise it won't. Your application won't work. I do see a world where agents become very powerful, very useful. Everyone has them. You have ChatGPT creates your own personal agent. There's tons of tools that create agents for automating and taking decisions. I think the difference between an agentic system and a normal AI system is that agentic system can actually make decisions on its own and you don't need a lot of human input. Like obviously you can have some human input, but it can basically decide and make edits and make improvements. I think that's the best way of saying it. And I do see a short-term world where some of these tasks get automated more and more, and the adoption curve is slow. Even though I think Brian Chesky was saying this, like there's ChatGPT is so different, but how we live our world is very similar, and it's going to change sooner rather than later. So that's like the short term. Then long term, there's a lot of debate about like do you need a salesperson anymore? Do you need a software engineer anymore? I feel like those two skill sets will never get replaced. I do believe that the world will need tons of software engineers, tons of like sellers, like good salespeople. So that's what I am betting on. So I feel like that's gonna be important. I don't know what's gonna happen like very far in the future, at least like maybe even 20, 30, 50 years. What I do know is at least in the midterm or short term, AI is going to have a significant impact. It's going to be everywhere in every device, every application, every way that every job is done, from education to how kids learn, personalized learning, all the way to even like athletes and sports. And I think it's going to truly like affect every aspect of life and get more and more integrated in everything instead of like replacing things completely, right? Like that, I think that would be like my assumption or bet. As an example, like industrialization made a lot of jobs like defunct, basically, right? You need to like move the machine. Now the machine moves on its own. So I don't think that's AI. What AI does, I think it just goes deeper and deeper everywhere and how you live and how you do it, not 100% replacement. At least that's my hypothesis in the short term.
Yeah. Jiva is a great example of productizing agentic work
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
I love trying out and demoing all these new tools. But when it comes down to core operations, it's like I've been using Zapier forever and doing automations here and there. But when you look at like the big ones, like what Jiva does, it's like I could sit down with N8N and
Yeah.
piece together all these workflows, and then it works for 3 days, and then it's broken, and then you're pissed, and then you just let it go. So for what you're working on, there's a big hunger for these things that are like it's just out of reach of like really wanting to do a 50-step N8N workflow.
That's exactly right.
I'm trying to think. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's exactly right. Sorry, I'm getting excited, but that's exactly right. Like our audience is like want that level of workflow, but don't want that level of complexity in setting it up. And that's kind of who we want to serve and who we serve.
It's extraordinary, and the trajectory you're on is insane. What other kind of big workflows like that, not sales maybe, that do you think is an opportunity out there that could have a similar growth trajectory?
Ryan, I do feel like there's a lot of backend tasks. Like it could be with accounting, FP&A analysis. It could be with just backend operational tasks. I feel that's like a truly underserved opportunity. There's a lot of companies, and I know I picked sales and I love it, and some days I hate it, but I feel so many competitors in my space, so many competitors in customer service and marketing, almost like maybe two companies or two good startups that I know that are doing like back end operational work. Basically, it could be with HR automation, could be with financial operation automation, you name it. But there's a big market out there. There's tons of people who are like in operations doing some level of operations that is manual for any industry. And I think that could be automated pretty quickly and can be a significant market grab and easy to implement. It's just not as glamorized. So not a lot of people like going there, but I feel like there's a lot, like a big opportunity there. Like it truly, even MIT came up with a study. I think, I don't know if you saw that, I was talking about like a lot of the sales and marketing adoptions failing in the enterprise, but what is working are these back end office tasks that like no one wants to do. And I think those would be like easy bets for AI to do.
But it's not as glamorous, is it? Sales, I mean, saving money is one thing, but earning money is a whole different.
I totally agree. Totally. That's my pitch. It's like, yeah, we could save you a lot of, like with consolidation, we can save you a lot of money on these tools, but it's not about that. It's can we help you get five more customers this month or next month? I think that pays itself. And that's like my pitch. And that's what I train the guys on in my team. But yeah.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's like, there's not a problem that sales can't solve.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it definitely fixes everything.
Absolutely. Cool. You've been so generous with your time. I really appreciate it, G. We're going to end with the founder challenge question from kitcaster.com.
Okay.
Now, anybody can take a look at these questions. It's at media.kitcaster.com/founder-challenge. And I do not expect you to remember that, anyone who's listening, but I do expect that my note taker will put the link in the show notes.
Right.
So I'm going to give you 4 categories you get to choose from.
Okay.
We're going to go 3 categories. So either it's unfiltered, intriguing, or risky.
Ooh, I'll take risky.
Risky. All right, let's go.
All right.
What's the wildest thing you've seen on a startup retreat or offsite?
Oh man, wildest thing. So the funniest thing is, and this was like my first startup, and we used to have an angel investor who had made a lot of money on Twitter. And basically, have you seen that show Silicon Valley, where this one guy, basically the investor puts the tequila bottle, the guy who says like doors should open like this, the Tres Comas guy.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I'm not going to name this investor, but he basically behaved like that. He reminded us of that. And he basically intentionally, or maybe by mistake, he wanted to get in the code base and check it out. And he deleted 90% of our files, like months worth of work. And literally the episode, Silicon Valley episode, was afterwards. So when we saw that, I was like, holy shit, this has actually happened to me. I think that's like the wildest, funniest thing. Like it was obviously like very disappointing when it happened because months worth of work just literally vanished because of this guy's error. So it's like that's like what comes to mind as soon as you said that.
I love it. I love it. TJ Miller, I went to high school with him. He's got a great family. He's awesome. I think that guy's hilarious. Awesome. What's the best place for people to contact you online?
Yeah. So my email's super easy. It's Jeeva.ai, Jeeva.ai. I'm on LinkedIn, Gaurav Bhattacharya, Jeeva.ai. Very, very active on email or LinkedIn.
Incredible. Gee, this has been so fun. I love talking to sales guys. I love seeing sales products win. Congrats on all your success.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Hey, founders, let me ask you this. Are you building with AI or getting left behind by it? If you're serious about scaling smarter, faster, and bolder, you need to check out aiforfounders.co. It's your go-to resource for cutting through the noise and actually using AI to grow your startup. Each week, AI for Founders drops a sharp, no-fluff newsletter, dives deep with expert guests on the podcast, and hosts monthly workshops where you can get your hands dirty with the real tools and strategies. Whether you're pre-seed or Series B and beyond, launching something new, or just staying sharp, AI for Founders gives you the edge you need to win in 2025 and beyond. Hit aiforfounders.co to subscribe to the newsletter, tune into the podcast, and grab your spot in the next workshop. And it's all free. Build smarter, move faster, think bolder with AI for Founders. Now back to the show.